Hey, what up, superstars? It's your boy Ibetonme-THE. Guys, if you don't know, Solar Supers are back S tier again in Destiny 2 Season of the Wish. I even posted a video earlier today where I showed the best Solar Warlock build in Destiny 2 Season 23. I actually put the link down below for it if you want to check it out after you finish watching this video. However, this time I feel I found the best Solar build in Destiny 2, guys. Now, this is going to be for your hunter, and it's pretty much going to give you infinite super. So let's go ahead and get into this build video, guys. But right before we do, I just want to tell you, welcome to the channel, and I appreciate the support. Now, the super ability we're going to be using in this video is going to be Blade Barrage. This super is amazing for clearing ads and also adding damages to bosses. And this super is going to be the main focus of our build. So everything from abilities to fragments to aspects to exotics is going to be tailored for us to have our super almost unlimited. So for our first ability, we're using Gambler's Dodge. So when we dodge, it's going to help us recharge our melee ability. And for our melee, we're going with Knife Trick because it's easy to use. Also, we're going with the Healing Grenade so it'll help us stay alive. Now, the main aspect we want to use is Knock them down, because when we use our Blade Barrage, it's going to launch more projectiles. And while we're radiant, final blows with our equipped throwing knife fully refunds the melee energy. And for my second aspect, I'm using On the Mark because it gives me an extra fragment slot. Now, for my first fragment, I am going with Ember of Singeing because my ability recharges faster whenever I scorch a target. So pretty much every time we use Knife Trick, we're going to scorch targets. So we're constantly going to be perking this fragment. Next is Ember of Solace. So radiant restoration effects apply till you have an increased duration. We're using this fragment for the restoration increase. And next we have Ember of Torches, which is really good if you're in the fire team because power melee attacks against combatants make you and your nearby allies radiant. Also Ember of Empyrean because solar ability final blows extend the duration of restoration and radiant effects applies to you. Now, I do run mostly solo, but if you are running a fire team, I would switch this out for Ember of Benevolence because if you apply restoration, cure, or radiance to one of your allies, it grants increased melee, grenade, and class ability regeneration for a short duration. And for my last fragment, I'm going with Ember of Wonder because rapidly defeating multiple targets with solar ignitions, generate, and orb of power. So that's really going to help me ignite the perks on my armor mods, and then also it adds plus 10 to my resilience, which is very important to stay alive. So now let's get to the main exotic that is going to help take this build to a whole nother level, and that's the Shards of Galanor Hunter Exotic Gauntlet. Coming into the season, Bungie buffed the first part of the Sharp Edges exotic perk where throwing knife final blows decreases the cooldown of your super. So if you kill enemies with your knife, it's going to give you a 2.5 to 5% increase on super energy, which is amazing. And that's crazy because you already get up to 50% super regen generation when you hit final blows with the Blade Barrage. So if you hit all your targets with your super, that's 50% regen. Then if you hit 20 targets with your knife, that's the remainder of the 50% super regen. And then remember, you're already still getting super regen just from killing enemies. And with the mods that I have on this build, which I'm gonna share with you later, just getting 6 knife kills will give you 50% super regen. So guys, with everything on this build, you're pretty much getting your super back every 30 seconds. Now in harder content, to get that super back faster is gonna be a little harder. So you will need to make sure you choose the right artifact mods and also some good weapons to make sure you get that super regen back faster when you're dealing against in-game activities. So for your artifacts, you want to have Kindling Trigger, which radiant causes solar weapons to apply scorch to unscorched combat. Flint Striker, which rapid solar weapon hits and rapid solar weapon final blows grants radiant. Razor Precision, while radiant solar precision final blows cause combatants to ignite. For our DPS damage, we're going to be using a rocket launcher, so you need this Argent Ordnance artifact, which grants increased damage and reload speed. Also, make sure you get this overload rocket launchers so that way you'll be able to stun champions. So get these last two. Revitalizing Blast, where causing damage with a solar ability weaken champions and bosses for a short duration. And Harder Flame, casting your solar super grants nearby allies radiant and increases the damage of your super for a nearby ally. Now for my weapons, I'm going with this Prophet of Doom shotgun that has the perk 1-2 punch because when you hit an enemy with every pellet in a shotgun, it increases your melee damage for a short duration. For my DPS damage on bosses, guys, I'm going with the amazing exotic Dragon's Breath, which has become meta. See, it has the perk Composite Compellant, which rockets embed themselves and destruct targets and periodically inject incendiary fuel that inflicts scorch. And with high octane, it ignites nearby targets and partially replenishes the fuel. And with the catalyst, it has the trait Pyromancer, where the weapon replenishes itself with fuel faster, and defeating targets with this weapon causes them to periodically drop fire spikes. sprites. And don't forget, Argent Ordnance is going to give us more damage as well. And this build is perfect because you got high air clearing and high damage DPS to bosses. And for my primary weapon, I'm using my God Roll Horror Story auto rifle with target lock, but God knows I would rather use my Ross Aragos 4 God Roll with onslaught. Oh my god, that thing melts. But unfortunately, hey, my Prophet is in that slot, my Prophet shotgun, so I'm not able to use it, but this would go perfect with it. Also, if you do need a God Roll guide for that weapon for both PvP and PvE, you can find it on my channel. Alright guys, so here's my gameplay strat with this build. So first, only thing you need to do is just throw down your healing grenade. That's going to give you restoration. Number 2, you want to go ahead and just start using your melee. It's pretty much unlimited as long as you hit the targets. That's going to increase that super energy fast. And then thirdly, hey guys, make sure you keep using your super. All right, you want to keep perking your super with the Shards of Galanor so you keep getting your super back. Don't hold it. Help your teammates out. Here's a game strat bonus. If you miss your melee like I have done from time to time, hey, go ahead and do your dodge, and that should recharge your melee ability. Now here are the most important stats on this build. Number 1, resilience keeps you alive. Number 2, strength helps with your melee cooldown so you can get it back faster. And number 3, recovery helps you get your health back faster. So if all possible, try to get 100 stats in each one of these areas. I got to do some farming myself, seeing that I'm back playing Destiny 2 PvE again. So I'm really going to be back really looking for some good 100 stat builds. And then also here are all the mods that I am using on this build, and I will put the dim link down below. And if you are interested in more Destiny 2 build videos for hunters, warlocks, and titans, I would suggest you watch this playlist next. Also, don't forget to like and sub. You guys have a blessed day. Peace.